This Premier League Matchday 28 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states and you get $20 free with the promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Thursday, February the 26th. We are here to have a look back over another chaotic midweek action in the Champions League before we get a full list of Premier League games, which goes from Friday night. We've got some Friday night fun. All the way through to Sunday tea time. There's actually a full programme next midweek as well, Baz. I don't know if you were aware of this. So we'll have to get back sharpish, quick turnaround. So we've got 20 games in the next 5 days to absolutely fill our boots. Joining me from somewhere in Nottinghamshire is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Barry, how are you?
I'm all right. I've had a busy night, so I haven't watched any football tonight, but I was at a football meeting. Who arranges a football meeting in Nottingham on a night where Nottingham Forest are playing at home? Poor plan. So there wasn't many people attended. But I sat there and watched the notifications come up. I saw 1-0 Fenerbahce, 2-0 Fenerbahce. And I thought I was going to get home. I left the club at about 9:15. There's half an hour to go, and I thought I'll get home and have a dramatic finish. And then just as I got in the car, Forest scored, made it 2-1, and that was pretty much that, wasn't it? So that let me fun down. I was hoping to get home and watch 20 minutes of Fenerbahce.
That was my fault, Baz, because I had the Palace game on. Because that fucking stupid bet boost, I knew it was shit. I said to you, they put a bet boost on, it's shit. It involves Palace to score 3 goals, even if they were playing fucking the lost city of Atlantis, which they were. They were never going to score 3 goals. But because we've done all right this midweek, we put it on anyway and lost. But so I was watching the Palace game for that purpose. And then I saw Forest go 2-0 down. So I quickly closed I had it on the laptop. I was trying to have an hour off football and put it on. And the second the screen flicked on the Forest game, the Forest scored. So that was entirely my fault. You can have that one on me. Palace and Forest were both pretty shit, though, as it turns out. So there you go. What was I doing tonight? I was going to say something. I can't fucking remember. We'll get to it. I'm sure it'll come out in the wash. Nah, totally gone, Baz. I just said to you before we started, I haven't made any notes around the... People think that we ad-lib the fun. I don't ad-lib the fun, Baz. I can't. Spontaneous fun is... Every single word of my fun is written down and practiced to a T. It's like a stand-up routine. There's not an accidental word or pause in the hour that I put out.
You run
I've written nothing down.
First, don't you? It's like a work in progress event you do with the family, don't you? You do the do the full show. Work out where they laugh, where they don't laugh, cut them bits out, you know.
Correct. Workshop it, Baz. Workshop it. I'll tell you what I was going to say, actually. Apropos of absolutely nothing is... we'll make an announcement, Barry. We'll make an announcement. We had a little chat with Sean and Ryan last night as we tried to get our World Cup plans in place.
This will excite the listeners, won't it?
Oh, mate. The listeners are going to go absolutely mental. I might take one headphone out so I can hear, because probably outside in the street, I'll probably hear some reaction. You know, like when you see videos from like a mile away at a football match and you can hear the goal go in. It's going to be like that. When I finish this sentence, if I open the window here, I'll be able to hear someone in the leafy NE3 like going mental from the front room. So we planned the World Cup. We didn't plan it. We had a chat about the World Cup, the upcoming World Cup on the show. And the exciting news is we've been given a green light to broadcast every single day, Barry. Fucking
Hey.
hell. Every day from the day after the Champions League final. It's then a 9-day gap till the World Cup starts, 10 days maybe.
Yeah.
And then all the way through the World Cup. So I tell you what, people, if you weren't looking forward to the World Cup now, if you weren't looking forward to your summer, then we've just changed everything for you. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Every day, Barry. That's a lot.
Every night. Let's see if we can get a consistent time going. And
No. I disagree. No, I think we should aim for 40 different times. We shouldn't do the same time twice. That's more of a challenge.
Yeah. We'll so we will be doing daily shows, but the aim is to try and trim them down to about half an hour.
I find that highly unlikely as well. Fucking hell, Barry. Christ, that's hundreds of hours of absolute nonsense is what that is. Lee's asking if it's going to be a World Cup game of kickoff. Maybe. We haven't found the new game yet. So that's exciting. So we'll have to start warming up for that, Baz. Get into training. Well, you've been in training anyway. You're 10 stone lighter than you were. I think I've hurt my hip from just not moving. I think it's just seized up. You know when I did both my Achilles in the bath in the summer? I did both my Achilles from spending too much time in the bath. I think I've put my hip out. It's like bed sores. It's like I've been in hospital for 8 months. I can't move my hip. I've honestly, from sitting in that corner at that angle for fucking 22 hours a day. I'm going to read this thing out. Hang on. Get your free picks and podcasts and everything all on the app, the SGPN app. Download that. There's loads of things on there. It was a chaotic week, Barry, of Champions League action. Like it always is, the games have been great. There was another ton of goals at our place. Galatasaray game. The Madrid game, there wasn't as many goals, but it was mental. Atalanta, etc. So we go through them. Did well on the picks. Won 5, pushed 1, and lost 2. So absolutely delighted with that. And what I was delighted with, it was all different kinds of fucking mad picks. Like talking about not doing 2 times the same. I didn't make 2 similar picks. So I got 10.5 units back from my 8. The Madrid ACCA won as well. Atletico and Real moneyline double. I had that up at even money, but Real drifted out to 4-5 before the off, which I think came with the team news that Mbappe wasn't playing. Huge drift. So we had a little go on that. I just thought it was too big. As it happens, I thought Benfica played quite well. Madrid kind of stumbled over the line. The all-Italian team to get knocked out, ACCA, went down on Atalanta with the 97th minute penalty. So one of the 1-6 shots, the dodgy one in there was Bodo Glimt. And then Bodo Glimt did the business and Atalanta managed to turn over Dortmund. I was on commentary for that game, so that was really exciting. I've done a lot of dog shit games. Tonight I did Lille at Red Star Belgrade. It was rubbish. I wasn't interested. I paid no attention. That Atalanta game was really exciting, was well into it. I knew it was a big game. There'd be lots of listeners. And you get a 97th minute VAR winning penalty to cement that 5-pack was very exciting. So, yeah, plenty of winners for me, Baz. And I pretty much enjoyed the majority of the football. How did you get on?
It was a tale of 2 nights for me. Did really well on the Tuesday night. I thought it was a little bit unlucky not to get a sweep, really. I took both teams to score over as an Atletico. Leverkusen game was the one I got wrong. We took Leverkusen.
Yeah, I was miles.
All of my notes was talking up the unders. Game finishes 0-0, and I've somehow pivoted and took Leverkusen. So that was the one that frustrated me a little bit. Taking Bodo Glimt on the handicap was the one. That was easy enough. And then I went for goals again. I took the both teams to score. Newcastle, Karabag. So, I think both of us gave Karabag a shout at doing something. So that went well. So, yeah, 3-1 on the Tuesday night, but then 1-3 on Wednesday. Wasn't really that close either. Dortmund team total let me down. Thought Dortmund, particularly the way the game unfolded, thought they would have been in it for a second goal, but didn't get there. Galatasaray was a terrible pick. And then PSG did all right, took the goals in PSG, and we didn't get the cards in Real Madrid in the end. It was all fairly...
I had a feeling, didn't I? I just had a feeling everyone might just behave themselves. I think they'd all probably received a stern bollocking before the game and said, everyone's waiting for this to end in disaster. Make sure it doesn't end in disaster. Let's say hello to the readers. Joe Dollar was first in. Joe, welcome along. Callum and Lee, squad number 9 and 7. Richard Smith, welcome along. Richard, nice to have you. Who else is here? I saw Cree was lurking about. John Collifay, squad number 23, is in as well. Has Cree got a Manchester City badge on his avatar? I'm not buying
Cree
that.
is indeed Man City, yeah.
Danny Midler is here as well. Cree has got a Man City badge. And what's that? Ohio State, I can see. I can see loads with these specs on, Baz. I can see for miles. No, I had the fucking my picks were ridiculous. Atletico Madrid to win and over 24.5 shots. Me and Betty stood at the window of the Shark Bar because we were going into St. James's Park. And it was like the 93rd minute. And there was 24 shots in the game. So Atletico were winning. It was 24 shots, and then some Bruges fella minged one in the last second. So we got there by half a shot. So that was a beautiful pick. Leverkusen was wrong. Inter Milan both teams scoring over 2.5, although we both talked up Bodo Glimt. Handicap, Joe Dollar, the +2 was a lovely pick. Bodo Glimt to qualify at 19-20. Karabakh shots on target, we laughed at. Over 2.5 was the line. They ended up on 6. Fucking hell. Even money for over 2.5. We put over 1.5 and a little, actually won a successful 6-1 bet builder on that game, didn't we? But yeah, we could have gone up the ladder. 6 shots on target for Karabakh would have been a right old price. Dortmund were really bad. Absolutely awful that night. That German league can get in the sea. Bear in mind, they've lost 1 game all season in the Bundesliga. They were absolutely dog shit in that. Juventus to score in both halves. What a beautiful pick that was. PSG in Monaco, over 27.5 shots, was up over 30. And Real Madrid -1 was the push. So all manner of ridiculous picks. But please, because I had to make them.
Actually, a -1, you would have took Real Madrid because the price drifted, you said. So you took the -5, yeah. But actually,
yeah, we had them
from the game. You would have took the 4-5 from Real Madrid.
-222, 9-20, all the way out to 4-5, -125, because Mbappe wasn't playing. I didn't get that. As it happens, it might have been a little bit fortunate because Benfica were all over them in the first 20-25 minutes. Real Madrid equalised very quickly, which is always helpful. Because even if you go 10 minutes at 1-0 down, the game changes. So, yeah, it was all a little bit mad. Just talk briefly about the Newcastle match. It was impossible situation for everybody, for me and Betty, anyone else who went, for the manager, for the players, for the opposition. And I've just read nothing but people moaning about it, and it's absolutely got on my tit end. It was a training session. It was a glorified training session. But all I've read is the manager's shit for picking the wrong team. The players, Walter Marder, Murphy, Dan Burn, Botman, Ramsdale, who else? Loads of them. So at least 7 of the starting 11 were all shit. The substitutions were shit. The kids are shit. The fans were shit for various reasons. Like the Karabakh's first goal got applauded. But fucking why not? I'm of an age, by the way. I remember, you won't know this, but used to applaud the away team scoring every time they scored. Up until about 1986, when the Oppo scored, everyone give them a clap. Like, that was just a thing that happened. And I think when that team had turned up and done so well, I didn't mind it at all. The competition was shit. The format was shit. Everything was shit. And I just thought, if you've gone along and formed an opinion on that and then bothered to type it out, you can get in the sea. It was fucking ridiculous. And the other annoying thing from the weekend was the Lloyd Kelly red card.
Oh,
holy shit.
That is
one of the worst ever, Barry. One of the worst ever. Because all he's done is landed. He's jumped, headed the ball, and landed. And it's not a VAR thing. We've said before, it shouldn't be called another bloke's opinion. We've said it should be called. But what does the sentence end like? The VAR starts. All right, Jeff, I think you should have a look at that because Lloyd Kelly has. What's he said? What's the end of that sentence? To indicate that there's any foul play.
It's got to be
referee.
reckless. or dangerous, well, all he's done is jump, or excessive force. Well, there isn't any force because he's come down at the same speed as the speed of gravity. He's gone up and he's
Leeds
gone
just said
down.
he got sent off because of gravity. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone up and he's gone down at the rate everything else comes down. Like, there was no, I just, and he wins the ball with the head. He never for 1 minute takes his eye off the ball and he just lands. I couldn't get my head around it. I mean, it was absurd in real time as they give him a second yellow card for it. And then to go through all the fucking rigmarole of going and reviewing it to upgrade it to a straight red. It's just like, what was the point in that? It's fucking ridiculous.
The timeline of kind of how it happened. I can get where the referee's maybe not seeing him see what's happened clearly, and the kid goes down, and he might just say to the VR, "Can you just have a look at that for us?" And the VR says, "Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's absolutely nothing in it." But why is the VR getting involved in that? Like,
Crazy.
it was just, and then the referee again. What's the end of his sentence? Yes, Terry, I agree with you. He has landed. It was Chelsea Fulham was the one earlier in the season where Newcastle had one go in our favour. It was against, I want to say it was Bournemouth. Was it maybe Tyler Adams, who just stepped over the, do you know what, maybe 2 or 3 years ago?
I know you're talking about.
I can't remember who he stood on, but there was fucking absolutely nothing in it. And that's possibly cost them as well, because Juventus managed to win the game 3-0, took it to extra time, and eventually Galatasaray knocked them off. Draw in the morning, 11 o'clock. It's not very exciting because we already know kind of who we're getting. Chelsea.
This is what I said last
Barcelona.
time. What is this stupid thing where you already know you can only play one of two teams? Why not just have that fucking decided before now? Stupid.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an odd one. I really don't know who I'd rather have. I mean, part of me thinks get your two-legged tie against Barcelona. What's the point in being in the Champions League if not for those big glamour ties against teams like Barcelona? And then on the other hand, if you get drawn Chelsea, then you think over 2 legs, there's a chance to get into the quarterfinals there. So I'll take either. That doesn't bother me.
I get it, but even by that talk, Chelsea hammered Barcelona in this competition.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We gave them a decent game up here. We missed the best 2 chances of the game at 0-0. Gordon and Barnes both missed chances. And then Rashford scored 2 worldies, by the way. They didn't fucking tear us asunder. Rashford scored 2 absolute belters. Like, you just take who you're giving. I don't...
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, people having opinions, it shouldn't be allowed, Barry. I'm not fucking having it. Just run things by me, and I'll tell you if it's acceptable or not. It's a much more straightforward way of doing it. Me bulbs are coming, Baz. I planted those alliums out. Do you remember? I got some alliums for my birthday, actually. Planted them out just along the front of this big rose here. And I've had a look today. They're all maybe about 1.5 inches long. I can't believe anything's survived that month-long onslaught of rain. Those bulbs haven't rotted in the ground. And then they're new, and I've got last year's, the little Loboticas and stuff like that, and a couple of Narcissus on the far side have stuck their heads through, Baz. So exciting times. Out the front, my clematis is going berserk out the back.
What's wrong with your clitoris?
Nothing wrong. It's absolutely fine, Barry. It's blooming.
Spring.
I've got a... speaking of which, where's me tub of Caniston gone? Oh, there it is. Got me tub of Caniston. I was asking you what it was last week. That's not for me clitoris, though. That is strictly for the athlete's foot. And I am an athlete, as you all well know. Right.
An athlete with a bad back from sat on his arse doing note.
I've got a bad back, sat on my arse, and I've got athlete's foot. Fucking hell. All right. I might do some. I'll do some physical jerks tomorrow, Baz. That'll sort myself out. Right. We'll make some picks, eh? This has been really good training for the short and snappy World Cup podcast that we're going to do, though, Baz. Good effort. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. A ton of trading options for your favourite sports, politics, weather, entertainment on there as well. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use the promo code SGPN. That's KALSHI. Promo code SGPN. And Rhythm has been on a heater for college and NBA picks. Really easy to sign up. Run predictions off the house model. Make your own or play with the sliders. If you're looking to grow premium, the promo code is SGPN25. Download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm. The promo code is SGPN25. Okay. 10 Premier League games starting on Friday evening. I'll tell you what, kids' football's back with an absolute vengeance this weekend, Buzz. Game tomorrow night, away at Chesterley Street. 7:30 kickoff on a Friday night. Fucking hell, we're getting picked up here at 6:15. So that's buggered up my viewing. So I'll have to leave my chair. Then got a lunchtime game on Saturday. And then Berwick on Sunday. Luckily, I've got a commentary early on Sunday, so I don't have to endure Berwick again. But Wolverhampton Wanderers take on Aston Villa at 8 o'clock on Friday evening, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Wolves are 16-5, plus 320. The draw 27-10, plus 270. Villa 9-10, minus 111. A nice early trap, this, Barry. A nice Friday night trap for me to fall into. I've fallen into the Villa trap 3 times recently, every time around even money, which is exactly what this is. Wolves' little revival, I think, has been slightly overstated because they've still lost 4 of the last 6 and they haven't scored in 5 of the last 7. So is it really a revival, or are we all just fondly remembering that 2-2 draw with Arsenal? Is that they've been on like a 9-game winning run when they haven't? Villa look a bit tired, don't they? Look a bit jaded. They've had another week off. But I think if you have to take a step back and objectively, Villa are a great price. I think against bottom 7 teams, they've played 9 games, won 8 and drawn 1. 6 of those 8 wins had both teams to score, if you want to go that way, which is exactly what Joe's posted, actually, Villa with both teams to score. But I'm fine with Villa on the money line again, Baz. Wolves aren't very good. They lost to Palace last week. Yeah, me talk about not learning my lesson. I'll take the trap on Villa money line 9-10, minus 111, Baz.
Trap. It's a trap. Every week,
it's a trap. I'm in it.
Same thing in it. Villa, same price. Don't fall for it, man. Don't. 1 win in 5 for Villa. And the problem is they're struggling for goals. 4 goals in those 5 games. So even against Wolves, I didn't want to get involved in Villa here. The trend for Villa, for me, that stands out, is the unders. 7 in a row went under 2.5. 4 of those 7 went under 1.5 as well. And it's similar for Wolves. 6 of their last 8 finished under 2.5 goals. I mean, you look at the Wolves form line, and I agree, there wasn't really any sort of comeback from Wolves. Villa should be winning this. Villa might win it. Wolves have got no win in 8 now, but they have drawn 4 of the 8 and lost, I think, 4 of the last 10. So a lot of draws in there. So for me, I just couldn't trust Villa at the minute. Wolves not making any kind of meaningful fight back, but they have just shown a little bit of being able to spoil it for others with these pointless draws that do nobody any good. So I'm going to stick with the trend that's there for both teams to the unders. Under 2.5 goals, 10-11 for me.
Okay, Fef's joined us. Evening, how you doing? Lee pointing out that the Mosquera, the value's gone on the Mosquera shots trade we were at. He stopped shooting for one thing, but the prices have absolutely fallen off a cliff. Fef wants Wolves +1. 1-1 draw the week for Joe Dollar. Mosquera to be booked for Richard. Wolves shots on target ladder for Callum. Everyone's come out firing tonight. Move on to Saturday. There is a lunchtime kickoff, which is Bournemouth against Sunderland. Bournemouth have moved in price here, line movement report, and I thought they might do, and I'll explain why in a minute. Bournemouth are now 3-4, minus 133. They were 4-5, minus 125. So the money is for Bournemouth. The draw has been pushed out. It's now 14-5, plus 280. In Sunderland, we're 100-30 and now 7-2, plus 350. And I think there's a lot of injuries kicking about with Sunderland. We talked about Xhaka getting back for them, but they've lost Nordi Mukiele, who I think's been their best player this season, or one of the most important players anyway, and Brian Brobby, the big lump up top as well. It looks like he's going to be out for a little while. So Sunderland is starting to go through it a bit. Baz, what you got?
What have I got? I'm fucking looking. Give us a second. I'm confused. I've got a text message through from someone saying they want Chloe to referee a game on Saturday morning, and I've got them mixed up. Someone has asked me if Chloe wants to cover a game, and I thought they were talking about Sunday. And I said, yeah, she can do a game, 10 o'clock Sunday morning, no problem. And now the team's just messaged saying, I've just been told Chloe can do our game on Saturday morning. That's great. Really happy. We thought we'd been let down and all this lot. And I've had to just go back to them and say, shit, I thought it was Sunday, mate. Sorry, she can't help you. So, stitched them up.
Well, live, letting people down on the show.
Live,
very good.
People down, yeah. This is the problem when you leave me in charge of admin. I have to do all the admin for her refereeing, all the admin for my own football team. And I just get confused with what games are going on where. Just fucking. Anyway, Bournemouth v Sunderland is going on in Bournemouth. At what time? 12:30 Saturday. We've got a 12:30 kickoff this week. Yeah, good. That was a miss last week. Right, Sunderland. They're shit, aren't they? They're on the slide. Yeah, they are on a bit of a slide, and season sort of potentially starts to fizzle out if they don't sort it out soon. 3 straight defeats in a row, back-to-back home defeats in there as well. Home record is gone, and they've now lost 5 of the last 7, and 4 of those defeats saw them concede 3 goals as well, so starting to ship in a few goals. If you look at the away form for Sunderland in isolation, no win in 8 now, lost 3 in a row and conceded 3 in each of those 3 away defeats. Bournemouth season's an odd one. They're proper streaky. They had no win. They had a really good unbeaten run. Started the season really well when everyone thought they'd struggle because they'd lost all the defenders. I think they were like an 8-game unbeaten run early in the season. Then they went 10 games where they didn't win. And now they find themselves back again on this unbeaten streak, 7 games. So very streaky, but they are at the right end of that streak at the moment. And so I think they should be taken here at home to a Sunderland side that can't win away from home. I thought the Bournemouth money line was fine, 4-5. I don't mind Bournemouth on a team total as well. I've mentioned Sunderland regularly conceding 3s on the road recently. That's the same price at 4-5, but I'm going to stick with the money line. Bournemouth win here, 4-5.
Yeah, everyone in the chat's all got a different angle on the same play, which is basically Bournemouth. Joe wants Bournemouth and both teams to score. Alex Scott, shots on target. I like that angle, Smudger. Bournemouth winning over 1.5 goal to boost the price. Bournemouth corners. The 0-0 v West Ham was disappointing for bettors. There was one that was like the bet builder game, wasn't it? Goals everywhere, and there just wasn't. But actually, not a bad point for Bournemouth, who are now 7 unbeaten. There's no team in the Premier League has won more games than Bournemouth this year. I watched Sunderland v Fulham last week. That was my commentary game. They were absolute dog shit. They looked a little bit better when Xhaka came on, but I didn't know if that was just because they were then chasing the game. So really, they had to come out and do a little bit. So it was kind of a coincidence. I think Mukiele is a huge miss for them. Like the handful of times I've watched him, he's their most important player. 2 wins in 11, and they were at home v Burnley and Palace, so they don't really count. Their only hope really is that Xhaka's back because they've looked lost without him. This is just an easy pick. And I've written down, Barry, it's also a Ray gun pick because I knew fine well you would take Bournemouth on the money line at what was 4-5. It's now 3-4 minus 133.
I'm now frantically logging on to Fantasy Premier League to get Mukiele out of my team. I didn't realise he was out for a few weeks.
He came off a few minutes in the second half last week and he looked proper fucked. Like
I knew he'd came off, but I hadn't seen any confirmation of what it was. But yeah, I'm gonna have to transfer him out. He was the bargain pick one. He was bargain basement prices, but was picking up all right points until now.
Let me remind you to get your predictions in. That's what I thought you said you were going to do. Predictaddict.co.uk as my march to the top continues. Saturday at 3:00 is Burnley against Brentford. These are the 10 a.m. Eastern times. Burnley 7-2 plus 350. 13-5 the draw plus 260. Brentford 3-4 minus 133. This is a little bit trickier after Burnley have picked up some points here and there. And Brentford lost at home to Brighton. So it's trickier than it was maybe even this time last week. Burnley are far too short at 72, even with 4 points in 2 games. The record against the top 11 is 0 wins, 5 draws, and 10 defeats. Brentford, I think, eventually had to regress a little bit. They were bound to get beat somewhere along the line. But the form of the 1-1 against Arsenal and the last 2 away games were wins at Villa and Newcastle. Like, that's not to be sniffed at. Pure old-fashioned form line is what I'm taking here. Through that form, Newcastle, Villa, Arsenal. I'm just going to take Brentford at 3-4 again, Baz. I've gone with 3 odds-on money lines in this first 3 games.
Yeah, could have been a ray gun, but I went slightly different. I thought it was a straightforward one in terms of a pick. Quite how Chelsea only scored 1 last week against Burnley. I haven't gone inside 2 minutes is beyond me, but that was the anomaly for Burnley, only conceding 1, because 5 in a row before that they'd conceded 2 or more. They've conceded 2 in 9 of their last 11 games. And it just seemed the obvious way for me to fade Burnley was to take the team total. Brentford are going well away from home. In particular, won 4 of the last 5 league games away from home. Scored 3 at Newcastle, 4 at Everton, 2 at Wolves. They can get at least 2 here. I've gone for Brentford team total over 1.5 at 4-5.
Okay, next game up, another 3 o'clock. I didn't count them up, did I? Sorry, Courtney. There are 1, 2, 3 o'clock games. Courtney and Patrick had a little nibble back at me the other week because I was I commended Joe for turning up when Arsenal get beaten. I made little jokes here, not like the Backus family wouldn't when Man United got hammered. And they did message to say they do turn up every week, but they watch it on the telly and can't put comments on. So I was just having a little tease, people. We know you're there. Hence the reason I counted up the 3 o'clocks for you. Liverpool are 2-5 minus 250. The draw is 4-1. West Ham United are 6-1. This is you, Baz.
Yeah, I'm still struggling a bit with Liverpool, as I've just not been impressed with any time I watch them, really. Despite the fact they've just won 3 of the last 4, losing only to Man City. Yeah, including the FA Cup game, they've just won 3 on the bounce without conceding a goal. But just the manner of it, the 1-0 win over Forest, the 1-0 win over Sunderland, both of them were far from convincing. Possibly a little fortunate to come away with 6 points from those 2. And at home, they've only won 1 of the last 4, drop points against Burnley, Leeds, or 2 of the recent teams who've went there and came away with something. So far from convincing. And I think just the recent performances are more telling than the actual results. However, that said, I still couldn't get to the point where I wanted to take West Ham. West Ham have improved. They've only lost 1 of the last 6 league games. The last 3 for them all finished under 2.5 goals. But the Bournemouth 0-0 was the first time they'd failed to score in 7 league games. They'd been scoring plenty enough prior to that. I don't like backing Liverpool at the moment, and I really wanted to find a way to fade them. And then I looked at the head-to-head, and West Ham have got an absolutely terrible record against Liverpool. It's like I was against Man City. Liverpool are unbeaten in 10 against West Ham. They've won 9 of the 10. And I think West Ham have only won once in the last 15 head-to-heads. It's all Liverpool every time. I just think at Liverpool at home, they're going to do enough. I'm going to take Liverpool on the half-time, full-time market, which is a one I haven't pulled out for a while, but wanted to try and find a way to get Liverpool's price up. Liverpool to win half-time and full-time at 21-20.
That is, oddly enough, has been directly contradicted by a pick in the chat, which is quite unusual because we use that market so rarely.
Yeah.
Joe's gone for Liverpool half-time draw, full-time win, which is, I like what Joe's done here. He's shown a little bit of a British nous and knowledge about this game because this has happened every fucking week for 45 years. Sure, you're absolutely right. They will get some bullshit late goal they don't deserve. Danny doesn't mind West Ham as an underdog, which I don't mind at all. And Somerville, 1 shot on target, has hit 5 in a row, and he's 6-5. Somerville called up to the Dutch squad this week, so he gets a little bit of recognition for his decent form. Back-to-back away, Liverpool wins both 1-0. Doesn't really reflect the performances, though. They were rubbish against Forest. West Ham kept ticking over with that point. They are now 2 behind Forest and 4 behind Tottenham. But they've had 3 in a row go under. So I'm willing to take a punt on the under 2.5, purely because the prices are wonky. I did this last week and hit. So I feel like this is, 3-1 West Ham, but it's not what the numbers say. So last week I stuck with the numbers and won. So I'm kind of playing with house money because they're under 7-4 plus 175. Liverpool keep winning 1-0. And West Ham's got a list of unders that are kind of counterintuitive as to how you remember them playing. So under 2.5 for me, a bit of a punt. It's 7-4 plus 175. Have I read the second lot of adverts out yet, Baz? Underdog.
I don't think so.
No, I haven't ever. Okay, I'll do that now. Edit that out. Underdog has you covered for Pickham for almost every sport. Underdog has just increased their payouts. This is exciting. 2 pick entries are now worth 3.5 times your money. 3 pick entries are worth 6.5 times your money. Brand new offer on Underdog. Play $5, get 75 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code SGPN. And we're brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. You're getting the best prices. Download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5. The promo code SGPN. Get in on the action. Novig, promo code SGPN. 3 o'clock on Saturday is a game I shall be at. Is Newcastle United against Everton. Newcastle 18-25, minus 138. 14-5 the draw, plus 280. Everton are 7-2. Just looking at the prices, Newcastle have hardened up a little bit, and Everton have drifted out about 1/4 of a point. This feels like a bigger trap than the Villa game to me. I've walked into this. I go to this game a lot, and it always feels like something fucking terrible happens. Newcastle have had a really tricky run of away games, but now we get a big old run of home games, and they're not much fun. We get this one. We've got Manchester United on Wednesday. We then get Man City in the Cup on Saturday. And then tomorrow morning, when we draw Chelsea, we then play Chelsea, with the league game coming in between the 2 Champions League games.
I didn't realise that. Is that what it's going to be? A triple Chelsea game?
Yeah.
You know.
The Chelsea's the one in the middle. So it's either Barcelona, Chelsea, Barcelona, or Chelsea, Chelsea, coming off the back of Everton, Man U, Man City. So pretty chaotic stuff here. Really, and that little run, I think, is going to make or break your season because you're going to be in or out of a couple of trophies and you're going to be within striking distance of Europe, or you're not. You're going to be sitting in 12th or whatever it is. Lost our last 2 home games. Normally, we've hung our hats on our home form. That's something, regardless how badly we play, we've said, but we are competitive at home. But we lost to Villa, we lost to Brentford, and we do always seem to have trouble at home with Everton. Now, Everton are rubbish at home. We had this Dave Haran Stufflecoat, who I've actually got some feedback from in a little minute. I'm going to read out from our Everton correspondent. He turned us on to the fact that Everton can't play at home, and they got turned over again at the weekend. But the system suits them away. The last 3 away games, they won at Fulham, they drew at Brighton, and they won at Villa. They've only lost 4 away from home in 13 all season. So I just copped out, but I was perfectly happy to cop out.
I thought you were in the trap. I thought you were walking in.
No, I'm not getting in that fucking trap. I'll get in the Villa trap because that doesn't hurt me twice. That hurts me once. This will murder me twice, so I'm not having it. It's an important game, and I don't want to mush anything. Corners, Baz, this is you. This is all you. I've probably stole this off you. Newcastle are first in the division in corners, 6.88 corners per game. Everton had 10 against Manchester United. Remember, it was a documentary on corners. The Newcastle Qarabag game featured 15 during the week, of which Qarabag had plenty by themselves. And the line's at 10. So I'll take over 10 corners at even money. And I'll give you the Everton rundown from Dave Haran's point of view. Going to the game without Jack Grealish and Charlie Alcaraz, but decent away form, only beaten once in the last 9 years. Should be able to play with a sense of freedom. Key men in Jai, Keane and Dewsbury Hall. Limited possession away from home benefits them. They can defend in a low block. in counter-attack when they can. Until they solve the full-back positions and the lack of a scorer, they'll be limited, but can be optimistic. So basically, they're shite, is what Dave's saying. But that's why Everton are capable away from home. So there's your angle in there. What you got, Baz?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously been a positive few weeks for Newcastle. 4 wins from 5 and defeat only to Man City. And the performance in that one was good enough that you didn't really feel like it broke any momentum, I don't think. But you just still can't be fully confident in Newcastle and knowing what you're going to get from them from 1 week to the next. I think the mood will have lifted generally, even if it hasn't on Twitter. It will have done so in the ground, possibly, and that might help a bit. But I mean, Everton are bizarre, are they? Because you look at the general form, not going great. 1 win in the last 5 games. But it's that away form you've referred to. Only 1 defeat in the last 9 league games away from home now, and unbeaten in the last 5. Unders stands out all the time for Everton. Away from home in particular, 9 of the last 10 away games have all come in under 2.5. So it made it tricky for me. Newcastle getting back into a bit of form, but then you've got the Everton away form sort of counters that. Newcastle games full of goals, Everton games the opposite. I almost copped out. I nearly went into the corners market the same as you. But I just thought the Newcastle form for goals was a bit more reliable than the Everton form. 8 in a row for Newcastle have hit both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Newcastle have scored twice themselves in 5 of the last 6 games. And Newcastle can't keep a clean sheet. No clean sheet in 10 games now. Both teams to score, I like. And I think Newcastle might nick it. So I'm going to tag on the over 2.5. Both teams to score and over 2.5 plus money, 11 to 10.
Everton put 10 identical corners right under, what's his name? Sammy Lemon's crossbar the other day. There's no fucking way Nick Pope will, or the rest of our defence, will be able to repel them the way even Manchester United did.
Yeah, but that's assuming Everton get 10 corners. They don't get 10 corners every week.
No, they don't, but they don't need 10. They put 4 under that crossbar. Baz would be fucked. Joe saying Newcastle averaged 12 and 3/4 corners at home.
I did look. I was tempted to go with the corners, and I would have gone match corners as well. To be fair, actually, the match totals for Everton games are quite low. Despite that, they've had 10, 7, and 6 themselves in the last 3. Match totals don't often go that high, but I did consider it. I don't mind it.
Tea time on Saturday is, I think we're going to stop out for a bit after the match and watch this in town. Did I tell you I've got a new charity shop coat? Did I announce this last week? Nope. Oh, so part of the reason I want to go out on Saturday is because I've got a charity shop coat to debut from
Dead Man's Coat.
Yes, I've got another Dead Man's Coat. This is fucking incredible, Baz. It's got epaulets. It's got a belt. It's got all manner of things. It's got some holes that I can put my hands in the pockets and make them come out the middle. Like, it's fucking great. Once the show's finished, I'll put it on for you. It's absolutely majestic.
You have to post a picture out for the people now.
I'll post it if Newcastle win. I'll post a picture in my Dead Man's Coat. What are we talking about? Oh, Leeds, Manchester City. Yeah, Leeds are 17-4 plus 425. The draw is 31-10 plus 310. Man City 57-100. What's that? Minus 175. Is this? Yeah, this is you, Baz. Go ahead.
Oh, this is me. Leeds, Man City. Yes. Feels like we're getting to that stage where City potentially could hit their end of season form. We've seen it before when they get a sniff of things at the top of the table. They've got the capability to go on a bit of a streak, and they're currently on an unbeaten 8-game run, 7 wins and a draw in all competitions. So City hot and obviously need to be winning here to keep up the pressure on Arsenal. Leeds form's full of draws. 9 of their last 15 in all competitions have ended in a draw now. You can look at their recent form in 2 ways. They've won only 1 of the last 6. Shite. Or if you want to put a positive spin on it, they've lost only 1 of the last 6. So that's good. But I do think City come out on top. I think City will win here. I think they'll continue to keep the pressure up on Arsenal. A little bit of a short price. So I'll tag on the over 1.5 goals to get me 4-5 for City. City win and over 1.5 goals at 4-5.
I did the same as you, Baz. Had to try and manufacture a bet because I think Manchester City will win. It's a tough trip, this one. Draws at Villa and Chelsea for Leeds is good. Only 1 loss in 6. But that 1 loss was a nice comp game. It was a 4-0 home defeat against Arsenal. So that gives you pause for thought on Leeds' form. Man City won 4 out of 5. 2 of those with a clean sheet. So not much help in terms of overs or unders. I'm going to take the City pick that I took last week, which is City -1. I think they win. So I think at the bare minimum, we get a push with a 1-goal win. And then we can go maybe over. So I'll take City -1 at evens. Smudger has gone for over 1 Leeds corner in the first 10 minutes at 12-1. Some proper DJ activity that way. I like it though. He's right. Tea times, you always get a fast start. I love like the tea time kickoff in Newcastle when you get proper full of beer and everyone goes wild. And that you get that at Elland Road, so they could start fast. We move across to Sunday. There are 3 2:00 kickoffs on Sunday, the first of which is Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. Brighton are 21-20, plus 105. 5-2 the draw, plus 250. Forest 14-5. 12-5, plus 240. And Brighton eventually won a game last week. It still doesn't make me want to bet them. They've got 5 home wins in the 13 Prem games. 4 in a row under 2.5 for Brighton. Forest did okay against Liverpool. I said about 5 weeks ago on the show that Forest's next win was penciled in for the away game at Brighton on February the 28th. So I stand by that. I like them as a dog. I think they'll win. I'm not going to take them here. I'm going to take them later on. There's plenty of data for the unders. 5 in the last 6 for Forest. 4 in a row for Brighton. And it's even money. It just looks like a dog shit game. Forest was shit again tonight. I do think they'll spring for one. I think they're going to win 1-0. But I'll take the under 2.5 for the evens pass.
Yeah, I thought it was a hard one to come down on the sides. Brighton have won only 1 of their last 7 in the league. Forest have won 1 of their last 6. So neither team getting in the win column very often. For Forest, definitely been a lack of firepower in front of goal. 5 goals in the last 6 league games now. Failed to score in back-to-back games as well. And it's a similar story for Brighton. Brighton are always one you could rely on for goals, but won 2-0 last week. Prior to that, they'd just been 2 games in a row where they'd failed to score. And they've just scored 6 in their last 7. So very similar. Both teams averaging under a goal a game recently. Both form lines scream unders. 7 of the last 8 Brighton games went under. 5 of the last 6 for Forest went under. I thought it had draw potential. I thought you might have pulled out the 1-1 of the week. 0-0 or 1-1 here. But either way, it's going to be unders, even money.
Fefwef, the Forest fan, says they always have scrappy games against Brighton. Didn't they beat you 7-1 last year or something? Or was it the other way around? Didn't you beat them?
They did.
Lee Smith.
Forest battered them one time last season, didn't they?
I don't know what Lee Smith's been doing at work today, but he's pulled out some absolute belters here. Forest, most shots at 7-4, plus 175. Loads of shots recently. Most shots in the last 4 games in a row. So there's an angle in. Love that, Smudger. Smudger's auditioning for a slot on the World Cup Gambling podcast here, Buzz. Fulham take on Spurs, Sunday, 3:00. Fulham are 11-10, plus 110. The draw, 13-5, plus 260. Tottenham, 9-4, plus 225. Barry?
Yes. No new manager bounce for Spurs last week. They looked just as poor under Igor Tudor as they did under Thomas Frank. 4-1 defeat for them, which now means they've not won a Premier League game since December. 6 losses, 3 draws in that little run. 9 games without a win. And finding themselves firmly in the shit at the moment. Spurs, getting themselves right into that relegation mix. Fulham haven't exactly been flying themselves. Just 2 wins and 4 defeats in their last 6. But at home, the form's better. I've lost only 1 of the last 5. That was a disappointing one against Everton, but we've talked about Everton, how Everton have been good away from home. So that was the only sort of blight on Fulham's home form. But that same home form run for Fulham, seen them beat Chelsea, beat Brighton, Forest, and a draw against Liverpool. So good results at home against decent sides. Fulham can usually be trusted at home. Spurs can't be trusted anywhere. Was my my thoughts on this. Fulham at 11-10 feels about right, but for me, I'm leaning into the Spurs defensive record. They regularly conceding at least 2. They'll concede 2 again here. I'm going to take the Fulham team total. Fulham over 1.5 at 5-6.
Fulham were good at Sunderland last week. Have won 7 of 13 at home. And against bottom half teams, the home record is 1-5, lost 1. Decent record. Tottenham are right in the shit, honestly. I'm fucking thinking, but we give them the new manager bounce last week. I took them as an underdog at 5-1. They were absolutely dreadful. And we talked about, I'm seeing comparisons a lot this week to that half-decent team that Newcastle got relegated with, Michael Owen and Mark Viduka and all those sort of players. And we talked about like Van de Ven already just ignoring Igor Tudor. Like strange things are afoot at the Circle K here. I don't know if they've got the stomach for this fight at all, Tottenham. So a team that I pretty much pick every week. I can't remember the last time I haven't picked Fulham on the money line against a team. I would just put them in auto fade. They are just on the naughty step, Tottenham. So yeah, Fulham 21-20 plus 105. Actually 11-10. They've drifted out to 20th of a point. So I'll take that as well. Wilson to score or assist from Danny Wilson was excellent last week against Tottenham. Fulham for Smudger, Fulham for Richard, Fulham for Joe, Fulham and both teams to score for Danny. It's a team ride on Fulham to knock off Tottenham. The penultimate game is Manchester United against Crystal Palace. Man United are just about 1-2 plus minus 200. They've shortened up a lot from minus 175 actually. The draw has drifted to 7-2 plus 350. And Palace have drifted half a point out to 9-2 plus 450. And just, I'm guessing, another dog shit performance from Palace tonight. I mean, they were 1-10. They were minus 1,000 to beat Skriniar tonight. And just about scored the second goal in injury time to win 2-0. Man United did it again against Everton. Not brilliant, but the good players are making the difference. The goal was Cunha to Mbeumo to Sesko. Was 80 million to 80 million to 80 million. You know, Michael Carrick's worked wonders, hasn't he, with the 80 million pound players. Get on the pitch and do your thing. Do you know what I mean? And we did talk, like 6 weeks ago, we said, let's follow Man United for a bit. And we've been repeatedly getting them at decent prices. Freedom, a little bit of momentum as well. And they actually defended well. I'll say nice things about them. They faced that barrage of fucking corners from Everton. In fucking Sammy Lemons and the rest of them all did very well. Palace 1-0 at home to Wolves changes absolutely nothing. That was rubbish. Wolves missed penalty. Wolves red card. Palace injury time winner. They've then scraped past some dog shit team in the conference tonight. So the game handicap was fine. It was just picking a winning bet. And all I did was eliminate the 1-0 win. Manchester United to win in over 1.5 match goals is 4-5, minus 125. Baz.
I nearly went down the same route, but I'd already taken that approach on the Man City game, so I had to mix it up a little bit. I'm quite happy where I've ended up, to be honest. Man United currently just doing enough to keep their good form under Carrick going. 6 games unbeaten now, 5 wins in those 6. Not being in Europe and getting dumped out of both cups in the first round is probably helping matters. And it may come into play again here with Palace having faced the game on a Thursday night ahead of this one. And I think in Man United's current form against a struggling Palace side, you've got to favour Man United here. Palace have picked up a little bit lately, 7 points from the last 4 games, but they've had a pretty favourable run there where they've taken on 3 of the bottom 4 sides in that recent run. Man United have won the last 3 at Old Trafford, scored at least 2 in each of those. So I am going to take Man United to win here, but I'm going to take them on the Asian handicap, -1. So we get a push if they win by 1 goal, win by a couple, and we'll cash a winner. Man United Asian handicap, -1 at 10-11.
Thinking back to your handicap there, Baz, the point you make, I wouldn't mind Man United like first half, like score 2 in the first half kind of thing, because he'll just come out red hot and Palace could easily do the opposite. So
Yeah.
that's another angle in. Man U over 2 goals for Fefwef. Same bet for Smudger. Man U to ball. Richards tits off at 1-3. I'll be getting on a little bit of that. Final game. There's one of those flies, Barry. Hang on. Fucking. Did I get it? Not sure. Report back. I think I got it. I've pretty much solved the problem, by the way, of those flies. He's a rarity. That one who's just gone past. There was loads a couple of weeks ago, but I took steps, Barry. You know me, proactive. What's happening Sunday afternoon? The last game is Arsenal against Chelsea. This is the 4:30 kickoff, 11:30 Eastern time. Arsenal are 3-5, minus 166, 14-5 the draw, plus 280. Chelsea 9-2. Barry, finish us off with a winner.
Yeah, it looks a interesting one. I think I was looking the other week at the fixture run-ins for both teams, and this was the first one on the horizon for Arsenal. That looks like a hurdle to overcome, because it feels like the next few weeks for Arsenal look quite easy. So I think getting past this one would be a massive step for them. I think there's enough in Arsenal's recent form to give Chelsea a bit of a shout. Arsenal have won 3 of their last 7 league games, and the wins coming against Leeds, Spurs, Sunderland. Chelsea are certainly in better form than all of those. So I think looking at the Arsenal form and the points they've dropped, certainly reason to think Chelsea could get in amongst that. And Chelsea are currently on a 6-game unbeaten run. Fair enough, they didn't beat Burnley last week. But 6 games unbeaten. Now, I would caveat with that they have had a ridiculously easy run of fixtures since Rosinia come in. They've played all of the bottom 3 in that 6 games, plus Leeds and Palace, who are bottom 6 or 7. So they have had a favourable run of fixtures. This is obviously definitely a step up. I've had a bit of recent form between these two because the two faced each other in the Carabao semi-final. Arsenal won both of those games by a single goal. The league game reverse fixture finished 1-1. So 3 head-to-heads this season. They've all been close enough. I wanted to take Chelsea here to cause an upset, but I wanted to play it cautiously. And very cautiously, I have played it. Chelsea +1 on the Asian handicap is available at 4-5. So I've basically got Chelsea double chance, and I've got that little insurance as if they lose by 1, it's a push. As I say, they've already lost 2 games to Arsenal, but both by just a single goal. So that's going to be my pick here. I'm taking Chelsea, but on the Asian handicap, +1, 4-5.
There's some right good picks coming in the comments here. Better picks than anything I even considered. I'm ignoring mine and playing all of them. Important win for Arsenal at Tottenham. Back-to-back wobbly draws. And they've played 3 in a row away. So back at the Emirates here, where they've won 10, drawn 1 and lost 1. 23 goals in total in their last 6 games, which just wasn't something that was happening in the early part of the season. Chelsea still can't shake off that flaky tag. Back-to-back draws against Burnley and Leeds. Both teams have scored in 5 in a row, Chelsea. Part of the problem he had with this game was that Arsenal-Chelsea League Cup second leg, when we all sat here and went, over 4.5 goals, 6,000 cards, 40-12 corners, fuck all happened.
As anything, wasn't it?
And that's the problem. I think that Liam Rosinia will be sitting somewhere now, hatching some fucking insane plan, so pleased with himself for what we're about to witness at the weekend. So, either way, the game script, I'm just not hugely keen because he's good. What Chelsea did in that game was they forgot to try and go and win it. They thought, we'll mangle it for 80 minutes and then we'll go and try and win. But they forgot to do the last bit. So he's going to try something stupid again, definitely. I'm going to go chalky, and I'm going to take the data from the recent records, which is goals. Like I said, 23 in the last 6 Arsenal games. Chelsea both teams to score 5 in a row. And I'm just going to take the both teams to score 3-4, minus 133. All the fancy players that I like here. Richard's gone for 1 red card. Richard, come on, be braver than that. Lee's gone for each team to receive a red card, which he puts on every football match it's ever played, by the way. 55-1, both teams with a red. Danny's on the unders, but this is where I like Fefwef's Pedro over 1 foul at 13-8. Gabriel, we know, likes to go over. And then you get the play on sub on with Liam Delap, who exists solely to bundle players over by the corner flag. That's his entire fucking reason for existing. It's his raison d'etre is to knock blokes over by a touchline. He absolutely adores it. 3 fouls is 5-1 for that combination of Pedro and then get Delap on.
Pedro Delap's a great one. I like that.
Yeah, I think that was pointed out at the start of the season, actually. I think we talked about it on the show. It might have been Fef, actually. Pre-season, though, like on the £1 Million show or something, we absolutely pointed that out. Baz, we've gone over the hour now. It was all that Champions League chat, wasn't it? But, who gives a fuck? Exotics. You can start. I started last
All the exotics are in the chat. The chat's gone wild with the exotics.
The chat has gone absolutely.
Builders, the stats pick. Like every week, people are getting more and more creative every week. People used to just come on and pick a money line pick or an overs and an unders. And now they're far more creative than we could ever be. They're taking over.
I'm here for it, Barry.
That's all good.
Especially with, like I say, a full program next week as well. We need to get around. My Champions League picks, Baz, were absolutely fucking. I was like Rachel Riley, one from the top, one from the middle, and all that, all over the place, Baz. We can't get too set in our ways here. What are your exotics, Baz?
My lock is going to be Brentford team total over 1.5 goals. Bosh. My dog, there wasn't many dogs that stood out for me here. I was tempted to try and take Chelsea, but I think the most realistic dog is probably the one you've got. I'm going to go with Forest at 5-2 to beat Brighton. Corned beef pie over 2.5 accumulator. Newcastle Everton, Fulham Spurs, Arsenal Chelsea, all over 2.5 comes in at 4-1. And the final one is a win and both teams to score, treble. My stake in Stilton Acker. So I've got Bournemouth to win and both teams to score, Newcastle to win and both teams to score, and Liverpool win with both teams to score. 30-1 for the treble. And the last one, finish off with a score. I'm going to go for Semenyo this week, 7-4 anytime, 6-1 first or last.
Okay, I'm going to lock up Manchester United in over 1.5 match goals at 4-5. -125. My dog is also your dog, Nottingham Forest. I didn't have any. I haven't picked a dog this week. Very often got 2 or 3, but nothing. So I'll take Forest. Corned beef pie accumulator. I hit the Madrid double this week, so I'm taking the Manchester double. Man United and Man City, 6-4, +150. Stake in Stilton over 2.5 team total. Man United, Man City, and Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth can properly fill in Sunderland. Anytime goal scorer on the Bournemouth front, we're going to take Ryan. We've talked him up a few times. Hit the beans last week after he'd scored a couple before that. 6-1 first and last, 15-8, +187. And if you remember Mukiele, the key fullback, so fucking Trey Hume will be playing. It was absolute dog shit. Data Dave hit Manchester United last week, the cheeky bastard. We have made up. We fell out spectacularly on Tuesday. But I had a word with him. And to be fair to me, Barry, I approached him and said, listen, Dave, I don't know what was going on yesterday. You had an absolute shocker. I'm prepared to forget it. And he said, you're right. He said, I was fucking all over the place and I don't know why. So we wiped the slate clean. It's a fairly new relationship, me and Dave, for 4 months maybe. So we wiped the slate clean. We had a decent chat. He's faded Everton again. He's gone for Newcastle on the money line. He faded Everton last week. He's gone for Newcastle on the money line. One guess, Barry. What is Data Dave's? Well, not his favourite, sorry. I asked him, what's the best brown animal?
And you want me to answer?
I want you to have a guess. Come on.
A bear.
Nah, is it fuck? It's an otter, isn't it?
An otter? Yeah.
I'll tell you why. According to Data Dave, Barry. Elite hydrodynamics, strong whisker game, top tier playfulness. They're the 3 reasons that Data Dave has crowned the otter.
Is an otter very playful?
Oh, aye, they're dead playful. The proper playful otters. That's what they say about them.
Do they build dams? Is that what an otter does?
No, they're beavers, man.
Beavers, that's a beaver.
You lost your mind.
Shit in hell.
David Attenborough. Otters, those giant river otters you get in Peru, they're fucking huge, them, Baz. They're like that. Bigger than that. Bigger. Can you imagine? See how big this is, right? They're bigger than that. And it would have your arm off.
Peruvian otters.
Joe Dollar says otters are fucking useless. that's an excellent name for a fantasy football team for next season. Joe, that's your team name. Otters are fucking useless. Danny wants to see the code. I'll tweet the code out on Saturday. If you didn't see the picture, I will model it on the next picture. It is quite magnificent. Barry, anything to tell the people before? Do you want to tell Danny what you had for tea before he asks?
No.
No? Oh, no, Danny, you've been fucking denied. Sorry.
But I can. I had some chicken pakoras with a Greek flatbread, like a little flatbread thing with some chicken pakora and a little bit of raita on it. That was it.
Yeah, well. Okay, thank you, Barry. Thank you, everybody else. Back for Sunday, early Monday, because there's Premier League, but I'm busy as snakes on Sunday. But we'll see, Baz. Not to worry. Watch out for the schedule. We do appreciate it. I will point you, if you are American or Canadian, or indeed just as keen. Callum was lurking in the MLB gambling podcast the other Wednesday night. I don't know what Callum was doing in there. But divisional preview number 6 I'm doing tomorrow night with Lonte. So that's the 6 divisional previews done before we'll be doing the WBC and then getting into the player props and stuff before opening day at the back end of March. So MLB gambling podcast for everything on the diamond. Good luck with your Prem picks at the weekend. Thanks for joining us. What are you laughing at, man?
Why does Fef think I've made that up?
Fef thinks you've made up your dinner. That would be an incredible personality trait.
I can tell you why. The chicken pakoras were Aldi have had the Indian special on, so they've had little packs of chicken pakoras, which are lovely. They cook in the air fryer in like 5 minutes. It's dead easy. So it was I don't think I've been sitting there getting all the flour and the spices out. I've literally bought some pre-cooked pakoras, heated them up for 5 minutes, and stuck them on a bit of bread. Like, there was nothing fancy about it. Like, so yeah, not made up.
Now we're over 107. I was 2 words away from saying bye, but you've mentioned Aldi, so I'm just going to tell you this now. But as previously discussed, my house is full of Lego. The teenage daughter likes building like Lego fucking bonsai trees and shit like that. And Aldi do kind of their own version. And she's been trying to get hold of these flowers in a vase for ages, and she can never get them. Well, they had some new ones in last night, but the bloke wouldn't let her buy them because they weren't on sale until this morning. So they've put them out. So
they can't put them through the till.
She was prevented from buying the Lego. So, of course, Muggins here, I had to go out at Sparrow Fart this morning because they sell out pretty quick. So I'm queuing up like it was a nightclub on New Year's Eve to buy Aldi Lego this morning because they wouldn't let her put it through the till last night, which is just insane. Go Night Talks here, the Backus family. They have managed to comment. Hello, mate. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Right, fucking hell, Barry. Good luck with your bets. All of that. We'll